So first of all, let me thank you for taking the time out to do this interview.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Okay, let's jump right into our first question. Was it hard to get the job in the first place?
Well, I'm a little more lucky than most. I actually have somebody on the inside and they help me get in touch with the right people to sort of expedite the hiring process. But the website, the Jobs Canada website, does periodically paste postings in their job section for doing lightkeeping duties. So if you do keep your eye out or you are interested in doing this kind of thing, just keep your eye out on the Jobs Canada jobs board, and eventually something will come along and you can apply. The process for me was it didn't take too long. It took, didn't take too long. The whole process took 3 to 4 months, which I guess is, from what I hear, is actually a little bit faster than for a lot of people. But there was the putting all my information in, getting additional information, lots of paperwork involved, and then there's an actual interview. I had to go to Victoria and do an in-person interview. After the interview, you have to submit some more paperwork. Then you go to a doctor for medical, and then after your medical is cleared, they'll post you to a station. And here I am now on Entrance Island.
Wow, got it. Okay, so what is the isolation like for you?
Well, the isolation for me it's not too bad here because I have full internet, I have cell phone, I have pretty much contact with everybody that I need to have contact with. There is another person who lives on the island, and he's a great guy. We've had dinner, we talk regularly. There's no animosity or anything between us, which would pose a problem if you're the only two people on the island. But personally, I don't find the isolation that bad. I can understand that there are people out there who may not like the idea of not being able to leave the island, and it's definitely not for everybody. But yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind it at all. You just have to get used to the fact that you can't go to Starbucks, you can't go to the mall for shopping, you can't just run down to the corner store to get groceries or do anything along those lines.
Speaking of groceries, how do you get your food then if you can't just go to the grocery store?
Yeah, the grocery thing is fairly. I don't want to say complicated, but the way it works when you're on the island is you get your groceries. You get a grocery tender once a month, and the helicopter brings out everything from Victoria to you. Now, it's your responsibility to buy the groceries. So you have to do all your grocery shopping online and then have your groceries delivered to the main office. And the main office depends on which station you're at. Here at Entrance Island, my main office is Victoria. So I have to ship everything, or I have to have everything delivered to the mail center in Victoria. And you only have a couple of days. Well, as I say, you only get delivery once a month. So you have to make sure that you do enough shopping, that you have enough food for each month. And I was lucky because before I came to this station, I had actually spoken with several different people, and they had said, oh yeah, be really aware of the fact that that you have to have groceries for a month. And I've heard from other keepers, a lot of people that I've spoken to, they say they've all run out of food in their first month of employment, and they've had to live off of like just rice or just noodles, or even like scrounge food from the principal keeper from somebody else on the island. So yeah, it's it can be daunting, but with a little bit of experience, it actually becomes fairly easy planning out your meals and whatnot. Shopping for a month isn't that hard once you're kind of used to it.
Guess you had better be good at planning out your meals then.
Oh yeah, no question.
So now that you have the job and you're on the lights, what's next? What's next in store for you?
So, yeah, that's my plan. So I'm a relief assistant keeper, and that means that at the moment I'm on the lowest rung there is. I'm like the low of the low. I am relief, and I only replace assistant keepers. As you get better at your job, you can fill in for principal keepers eventually. You can possibly get offered a assistant keeper full-time position, which I would be like elated at, which would be phenomenal. And then eventually, after putting in your time as an assistant keeper permanent, you can move up to a principal keeper. And principal keeper is sort of the pinnacle of this job. That's where you want to be. If you're a lighthouse keeper, then the principal keeper is the job that you want. And it's not necessarily that you'll get the spot that you want, but you know what? It's still being the principal keeper. It has the best pay. It's the best. You get the best house. It's the place to be. So that's my goal. I want to eventually become a principal keeper.
And then live out the rest of your life as a lighthouse keeper somewhere?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the plan. Well, thank you so much for your time. It is most appreciated.
No problem.
And thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you want to know more, and hit that bell notification if you want to know when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.